What's up, everybody? I'm back with another story video. I know I've been pumping out quite a few stories recently, but this is one I actually forgot to tell during the Cub Scout stories video, and I kind of decided that it probably does need its own video to talk about, kind of like the cabin weekend. It was the time we did literal IRL museum, like IRL life in the museum. Or life in the museum, night at the museum. Yeah, we spent the night at a museum. Bet many of you have never done that, but I did one time. Now, don't ask me why we did this, because I could not tell you. This was again for Cub Scouts. I don't know what merit badge it was for. I don't know why we did it. I don't know how we did it, but we did it, and yeah, it wasn't the worst experience in the world, but it was far from anything that I would consider fun at the end of the day. But hey, I got to sleep in a museum for a night, and that's always a great story to tell because you're about to hear it. So let's get right down into it. So we start going on about stuff. So get there, right? Now it's in Detroit. This museum was near Detroit, and our whole troop was staying there. Like our whole troop. I don't remember what pack or troop or whatever we were in, but we were all staying there. And it was like we get there, right, and we had to put our stuff. We had sleeping bags, toiletries, clothes, whatever. We had to put them all in the storage room because we got there when the museum was still open. It was still open. So there's like literal guests walking around as we're like trying to get ourselves situated into this building and stuff like that. That was always a little weird to me, but you know, it's whatever. I mean, because otherwise people would be like, oh, why are they sleeping in sleeping bags? So why don't I get to sleep in sleeping bags? You know, what's going on here? So we had to, figure that out. And it was like outside, it was really nice architecture. It was the middle of winter, so I couldn't really take it in, but it was nice architecture. Nice pond out front with fish. I remember that. And eventually what they did, we dropped all of our stuff off and they directed us into an auditorium room. And it was a pretty big auditorium room, but in that room, they ran down the procedures for the night. What to do, what not to do, where we could sleep, lights out stuff, and just kind of gone over the rules and procedures and everything. I don't remember a whole lot of that because I was sitting in the back, and I was only thinking about trying to drink punch, as much punch as I wanted, because I was very thirsty. And I was there with my dad. He was my chaperone for the trip. My parents, everybody brought a parent, or troop mat leaders, and everybody was there. So it was a lot of people. It's a pretty big auditorium. We were in there for a while. By the time we got out, the museum was closed, so that we could finally start claiming our places of rest, our place to sleep. And everybody, and I mean everybody, wanted to sleep in the dinosaur room. And now let me run down what kind of attractions they had at this museum, because you remember the MSU Science Museum vlog? It was kind of like that, where it was just like nature stuff and like prehistoric stuff, a lot of animal stuff, nature, like history as well, sort of thing. A lot of exhibits on type of that. So, but it was on a larger scale, it was a lot larger of a museum in a more wide open, secluded space than right down in the middle of a campus. So a lot more detail and stuff like that. This is years ago it happened, right around the time of the cabin trip. I remember this happened. So it was years ago. Even then, I'd still consider it a little bit more high-tech and more advanced. But it wasn't, the MSU Science Museum was nice, though. So, no phone exhibits, though. None of that cell phone stuff or that OnlyFans exhibit. Yeah. But anyway, we get there. Jeff and the Mellows, you were there, by the way. Darkroom 7, you may have been there. Jeff and the Mellows said we did it twice. I only remember doing it once. If they did it a second time, I opted out of it, because I don't remember doing it a second time. But anyway, picking a place to sleep. We had to find a place to sleep, and everybody wanted to sleep in the dinosaur room, where all the dinosaur fossils were. That was one of the bigger exhibits. But I remember it was a long, narrow hallway. Everybody wanted to sleep there. So by the time we found it, because it was, again, a large museum, large area, by the time we found it, everybody had claimed it. So there were sleeping bags lined up all up and down the hallway, which made it already narrower than it already was, which was insane. So then we ended up picking this area behind. We ended up picking like this carpeted area, a little bit more like the dining room has high ceilings. It was hard floor. It was near the bathroom though, which that was good. That was pretty convenient. But we picked a carpeted area and a lower ceiling area, a little more secluded in the corner, away from the main path. In front of this animatronic gorilla exhibit. Now, this thing, it was in a gorilla with their baby. It was like a female gorilla with their baby. Or maybe it was a silverback. I don't remember. But it was a gorilla. And this gorilla went off. I don't even tell. No, I couldn't tell you. 15 minutes. Every 15 minutes, this thing went off. And, yeah. Try it sleep in front of that. They shut all the machines off at night, though. So it wasn't like, it was like it was going off. But we'll talk about the gorilla a little bit more later in the video. But some other attractions that I remember from there, they had a big jungle walkthrough area. They had a Native American exhibit where animatronic Native American lady would read you stories and she would talk at random times when you walked by. There was a marble exhibit, marble factory. So it was like a room full of like marble courses and stuff, and marbles going through them. That was pretty cool. And there was the auditorium. I don't remember much else from the museum. If anybody else knows about this and was there, I'd love to hear down below. I'd also like to know if you knew me. Or if anybody slept in this museum, if you know what I'm talking about, because I don't even remember what museum it was. It was just down near the Detroit area. That's according to Jeff of the Mellows. I agree with it. I go with him on that one. It may not have been. Who knows? But comment down below what that was. So I don't even remember now. Now, as far as meals went, I don't think they fed us dinner. I don't even think they really fed us dinner, which was weird and a little crazy. But, you know, I mean, we got there pretty late at night. I mean, the museum was still open, but it wasn't open for that much longer. So maybe it wasn't as such. I don't remember. Still weird, though. Still weird. That they didn't feed us dinner. Maybe they did. I don't remember that portion. Maybe they did. But I remember they punched. There was a lot of punch, and I loved the punch. Punch was good. But eventually, after that, we had to... Once we found out we were going to sleep, we claimed our spot. And again, claiming the spot was a free-for-all. Winner-take-all situation. So that was a mess. Because people didn't... It was a large museum, so people were getting lost. They had no idea where they were going. And when they found a spot, they didn't know if it was safe or not to stay there. Like, it was on limits or not. They didn't know where they were, and they couldn't tell if people were already staying there or whatever. And people were getting lost. There was no communication at all. So that was just a complete crapshoot. It took forever for people to finally get spots settled, and that was a mess. But once we were done with that, we had to then go and start walking the museum, like actually doing our activities for the night. Yes, we had activities to do. So we had to actually go around and we had to do activities. What activities? I can't tell you. I don't know. It's not like they're private or anything. I don't know. I remember walking around the museum and checking out some of their exhibits and activities and stuff, but I don't remember writing anything down. I don't remember having to like mark anything off. I don't remember any like stations to do. I think we maybe had some crafts we could do or like some learning experiences, but I don't really remember doing anything official other than the auditorium thing at the beginning and just sleeping there. Which makes it seem a little sketchy why we even slept there in the first place. It was kind of weird. But eventually it was lights out. I think lights out was 10 or 11, I remember. I don't remember exactly. It was either 10 or 11. But we finally got in our sleeping bags, and the sleeping bags we had brought were... We slept with a couple other people in that same area, and our sleeping bags were very, very insulated, and they were very, very warm. And nowadays, I'd probably be sweating my ass off with those. But back then, I slept pretty comfortably. Now, because that's, bear in mind, I don't sleep very good in foreign places. And aka not my home or a place that I've been to before. I don't sleep very good in sleeping bags. I certainly don't sleep good on a hard carpet in a museum. But I mean, I was 8 or 9 at the time, so it wasn't as bad. But still... I can't believe we did it. I still can't believe that we did that. But eventually, it took me. The lights went out, and actually, it took me. I don't even think I was awake when they tried to turn the lights off. I think I was already asleep by that point because I was pretty tired, and for some reason, I mean, I remember also being very hard to find a bathroom. There was one near the jungle area. That was our closest bathroom. It was a good walk. And you could get lost pretty easily. Because let me tell you something. Walking around a museum at night, walking around a museum after hours, even with the lights on and stuff, even with everything on, even with all the people that were there, it still felt very empty. If you were not near that dinosaur area or near like our main room, which was next to the auditorium, you really didn't encounter anybody. And that was a little bit scary and nerve-wracking, especially when you don't know the layout of the museum. You've never been there before. You quite frankly don't know where you are, and you can't find anybody or find anything. You don't even know what you're really supposed to be doing anyways. So that was a little scary, but hey, we navigated it. We stuck together. We stuck together in packs. Nobody left each other behind, which was nice. Nice unity there in that situation. Eventually, though, we again lights out between 9 and 11 o'clock, we'll say. I found a bathroom near the jungle area, and there was a few other people in there. We kind of messed around in the bathroom and changed and stuff, and then we went to sleep. And again, I fell asleep pretty quickly. I think I fell asleep again before lights out, because I don't remember the lights actually going out. I do remember getting in my sleeping bag and then falling asleep, and then eventually I wake up. Yeah, I woke up. You remember that gorilla from earlier in the video? It was about 7 o'clock, and I wake up immediately to this. Yeah. Imagine having that as your alarm. It was not fun. Scared the crap out of people when they woke up. Everybody woke up at the same time and freaked out. Oh, that was a heart attack moment right there. But hey, an effective alarm at that. A shitty alarm, but an effective one at that. So we eventually get up and pack up our stuff, and we go to get breakfast. And they did have breakfast. It was just like snacks and stuff, bagged pastries and whatnot. I don't even remember really eating breakfast. I know there really wasn't much for us to do. We kind of just had to pack up our stuff, say we were leaving, and leave. I think you could just stay there and talk. Some people did. Most people started moving their way out after a little while, just like we did. And yeah, it was a very short morning there. And there wasn't really any necessity to even really be there a little bit longer. So, I mean, what are you going to do? And then we left. And then we drove home. I don't even remember getting dressed in the morning. I think I just went in my pajamas. I don't even remember. I just said, fuck it, leave. We're out. Bye. I don't even remember eating breakfast. When's the last time I haven't eaten breakfast? Actually, it wasn't that long ago. But that was an experience, for sure. Do I recommend sleeping in a museum if you get the chance? Depends. It depends. If it's the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, absolutely do it. If it's the MSU Science Museum, do not recommend it. This museum in Detroit, I wouldn't recommend it either. Or if you do not sleep next to the gorilla or the Pocahontas lady. Do not sleep next to either of them, because they will wake you up the minute they are turned on. Don't sleep by the dinosaurs. You'll make it a fire hazard. Sleep in the jungle. Sleep in the jungle, people. I don't even know you could sleep in the jungle. Maybe some people did. But if you can, sleep in the jungle, because that would have been a pretty cool experience. We should have done that. We should have done that. Damn it. I don't even know they're going to do that anymore. That'd be kind of weird, but to sleep in a museum. Again, they may have done it a second time. I believe we opted out of that if we did, though. So, but that's going to do it for this little story video. If you've ever done anything similar to that, slept in a random place for scouts or anything else, or if you've done anything crazy of the sorts, illegally or illegally, let me know in the comments down below how it was like. I want to know. Let's have a little bit of a discussion. So that's going to wrap it up. I got more stuff coming, so stay tuned. A bunch more amazing content as I get through these exams and to you guys to have some fun. So until next time, everybody, I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.